Hello everyone, just let me know quickly if I am properly visible and audible so that we can start our today's session. Good afternoon everyone, I am CS Ishika Agrawal and today we are here to discuss our chapter number 2, that is chapter number 2, that is active voice, passive voice, direct and indirect speech of BCR. Yes, just let me know in the chat box if I am properly visible and audible to all of you so that we can start our today's session. Hi Vamshi. Hi Ninad. Okay, I'm audible. Great. We'll just wait for 2 minutes so that everyone can join and then we will start our today's lecture. Yes, I'm properly visible and audible. Great. Okay. Hi Praveen. Good afternoon, Varun. Okay. Hello Tanish. Good afternoon, everyone. Hi Karthike. Vijay is saying better than Zoom, even quality is better. Okay, great. Acha, in YouTube, quality is better than Zoom. It depends on your data, right? I guess in Zoom also quality is good. Good afternoon, Bhuvan. Good afternoon, Abhikesh. Okay, so a lot of people have joined. Is the link shared in the group? Just let me check. Can someone of you share the link of the class in the group, Telegram group? It's better than Zoom. Okay, great. It's better than Zoom. Okay, 1080p. Yes. Good afternoon, Vedanta. Good afternoon, Gayatri. Good afternoon, Nirma, Anusha, everyone. Okay, so a lot of people have joined. Please share the link with your friends also so that others can also join. And without wasting much time, let's start our today's lecture. Already, our half an hour is wasted. Let's not say wasted. It's okay. It's fine. Sometimes happens. So, ma'am, what we will study today? We will study our chapter number 2, and in this chapter number 2, there are some basics about grammar given, but everything is not important for you. We will study from your examination point of view. Like at starting, there is few theory about what is sentence, what is noun, pronoun, but that doesn't come in your examination. I showed you the May 2022 paper, right? So, what is asked in your examination? Active voice, passive voice, and direct speech, indirect speech. The average weightage is approx 4 to 6 marks. It can also be more than 6 marks. It can also go to 7 or 8 marks, right? If ICI thinks it can give in one of the attempt in, I guess, January 2021 or July 2021, 8 marks question was asked from this particular chapter. So don't take it lightly, and it is not very tough. It is easy. So only two things are asked in this chapter: conversion of active to passive and vice versa, and direct to indirect speech and vice versa. So that we'll study in our today's session of chapter number 2. I've prepared this notes for you, and these notes are available in the Telegram group. Okay, so finally we are starting with the active and passive voice. In order to understand the active and passive voice, first you have to understand that in a sentence there are three types of words, or we can say a sentence is divided into three parts. First one is your subject, then your verb, and then your object. So a sentence is divided into your subject, verb, and object. So what is subject? Subject is the name of the person or a thing about which you are talking about, right? So a person or a thing about which something is said, that is your subject. So here if I tell you Rohit writes a story on the wall, then what is the subject? We are talking about Rohit. We are talking about what? We are talking about Rohit. So Rohit is the subject. If I tell you the next statement, the staff is required to watch a safety video every year. So what is the subject? Don't you think that the staff is the subject? Yes, because we are talking about the staff. So here in the next sentence, the staff is the subject. If I talk about the third sentence, we enclosed payment together with our order. We are talking about whom? We did what? We enclosed payment. So here we is the subject. We would reduce cost if we use less paper. So here we are talking about we is the subject. The critic wrote a scanting review. So here we are talking about the critic. So your subject is the critic. Food from roadside vendors should not be eaten by children. So here we are talking about food from roadside vendors. Food from roadside vendors is the subject. His painting has been praised by the critics. Here we are talking about his paintings. So all these things are your what? Subject. So if I talk about the verb, what is a verb? What is a verb? Rohit writes a story on the wall. So here, what does Rohit do? Verb is the action which is done by the subject. So what Rohit does? Rohit writes the story on the wall. So here, what Rohit is doing? Rohit is writing a story. Rohit writes a story. So write a story is a verb. And what is the object? Object is basically the last part of the sentence, not exactly the last part, which is receiving the verb of the subject, which means Rohit is writing a story on what? Rohit is writing a story on the wall. So here on the wall is your object. Or we can say Rohit writes. What does Rohit do? Rohit writes. So writes is your verb and a story, and on the wall is your object, direct and indirect object. The staff is required to watch a safety video every year. What staff is required to do? Staff is required to watch. So is required to watch is your verb, and a safety video is your object. We enclose payment. What do? We enclose payment. So we enclose payment. Enclose payment is your verb together with our order. So we enclose payment with our order. So with our order, or we can say our order is your object. We would reduce cost if we used less paper. So what we would do? We would reduce. So would reduce is your verb, and what we would reduce? Cost. So your cost is your object. The critic wrote a scanting review. What did the critic do? Critic wrote. So here wrote is your verb, and what they wrote? They wrote a scanting review. The scanting review is the object. From food from the roadside vendors should not be eaten by children. So food from the roadside vendors is your subject. Should not be eaten. Should not be eaten. So here should not be done what? Should not be eaten is your verb, and by whom? By children is your object. His painting has been praised by the critics. So his painting has been praised is your verb, and by the critics is your object. So here you understand what is a subject, what is a verb, and what is object. This is pretty clear. And in order to understand the active and passive voice, you have to understand two things: that in active voice, subject is your doer and object is the receiver. However, in the passive voice, subject is the receiver and object is the doer. Example, madam, if I talk about Ram kicked the ball, then here we are talking about Ram. So Ram is the subject. Ram did what? Ram kicked. So kicked is the verb, and ball is the object. Ram is kicking what? Ram is kicking ball. So ball is your object. So we are clear with this. Now, who is the doer? Who is doing something? Ram is doing something. So Ram is the doer. So here, if subject is a doer, then it is an active voice. However, in passive voice, if we say the ball was kicked by Ram. So here we are talking about the ball. The ball is the center of attraction. So the center of attraction is your subject. So here we are talking about the ball. So the ball is your subject. The ball was kicked by Ram. The ball is your subject. Ram is your object. But who is the doer here? Who is doing? Ram is doing something. Ram is taking an action. Who is the doer? Ram is the doer. So here subject is the receiver and object is the doer. This is the main point of understanding. Is this an active voice or the passive voice? So if the subject is the doer and object is receiver, then that's active voice. If subject is the receiver and object is doer, then that's passive voice. Are we clear with this? One more example. I baked a cake. Here we are talking about I. I is your subject. Baked a cake. I'm doing what? I'm baking a cake. Baked is a verb. Cake. I'm baking what? Cake. So I baked a cake. Cake is your object. But who is the doer? Who is doing? I am doing. I am baking a cake. So your subject is the doer. So if subject is the doer, then that's active voice. Now, madam, a cake was baked by me. A cake was baked by me. What is the subject? Here we are talking about cake. So here a cake is the subject and me is the object. But who is the doer? Is the subject is doer? No, ma'am. Here the object is doer. Me. Here the object is doer. So when the object is doer and the subject is a receiver, then it is your passive voice. Are we clear with this? So the first thing to understand is this: in the active voice, the subject is the doer and object is the receiver. Receiver means who is receiving the action. Who is receiving? Here Ram kicked the ball. So your ball is receiving the action. So here the ball is the receiver. Object is the receiver, subject is the doer in active voice. However, in passive voice, it's just opposite. Subject is the receiver, object is the doer. Now we have to understand some general rules for converting active into passive and passive into active. First, you have to change subject and object. Then you have to change verb. You also have to change pronoun. You have to add the word by in passive voice. In passive voice. Interrogative, how to change the interrogative sentence, imperative sentence, prepositional and transitive verbs. All these rules we are going to study today. So the first thing is you have to change the subject and object. In active voice, what is the subject? It becomes object in the passive voice. And what is object in the active voice? It becomes subject in the passive voice. Didn't understand? Don't worry, let us understand with the help of example. If we take example 1, Lalita teaches poor children. So here this is your sentence. Let's understand whether this is active or passive voice. Here Lalita is the subject, teaches is the verb, poor children is your object. Poor children is your object. So now who is doing? Lalita is doing. Lalita teaches. Who teaches? Lalita teaches. So your subject is doer. So this particular sentence is an active voice. Okay. Now how to convert this into passive voice? First we have to change a subject into object and an object into subject. So here Lalita is a subject. In the passive voice, Lalita will become object. And poor children is the object in active voice. It will become subject in passive voice. The first thing you have to do, you have to interchange the subject and the object. So how the passive voice will be? The poor children are taught by Lalita. So how this teaches becomes are taught. The verb, how to change the verb, this I will tell you. Before that, please understand that you have to interchange the subject and the object. Example, government passed the bill. Here the subject is the government, the bill is the object. You have to interchange the subject and the object. So the bill will become the subject. The bill was passed by the government. The government will become the object. Next point, someone broke the pot. Someone broke the pot. Someone is the subject, the pot is the object. You have to interchange the subject and the object. Here the pot will become the subject and the pot was broken by someone will become object. So I hope this is crystal clear that in order to convert the active into passive or passive into active, the first thing which you have to do, you have to interchange the subject and the object with each other, and after that you have to change the verb. Now how to change the verb, madam, from active to passive? This is the general rule. If you see this table, you will never make mistake in changing the verb when you are converting active into passive. See, in active, if active voice is in present, simple present tense, simple past tense, simple future tense, present continuous, past continuous, future continuous, present perfect, past perfect or future perfect, one by one we will study how to convert the active voice into passive voice. First, let us take the simple present tense. In the simple present tense, if the word is in simple present tense, example, I throw a ball. So I throw a ball. So if this is the simple present tense, how to convert this into passive voice? You have to use is, are, am along with verb 3. I am the ball is thrown by me. So how you have to do, how you have to convert, I throw a ball. So here I throw a ball. First, ball will become the subject and me will become the object. You have to change the subject and object. And after that, how to change the verb? If the active voice is in simple present, how you have to make it into passive voice? You have to use is, am, are plus verb 3. Example, the ball is thrown. You have to use the third verb. Throw, threw, thrown. So you have to use a third verb. The ball is thrown by me. Okay. Next, if the active voice is into present continuous, in present continuous, how do you use is, are, am plus throwing? Example, I am throwing a ball. I am throwing the ball. So how you will convert this into passive voice? First, the ball will become the subject and me will become the object. And how you will change the verb? How you have to change the verb? The ball, you have to use is, am, are, is or am or are plus being plus verb 3. So you have to write the ball is being thrown by me. The ball is being thrown by me. Next, if the active voice is in present perfect. Present perfect, example, I have thrown the ball. I have thrown a ball. So how you will convert this into passive voice? You have to use has or have plus been plus verb 3. I have been, the ball has been thrown by me. The ball, along with the ball, you will use has. The ball has been thrown by me. The ball has been thrown by me. So this is how you convert the present perfect from active to passive voice. What we are understanding how to change the verb. Now let's say the verb is your simple past tense. He threw the ball. He threw a ball. So if it is in simple past, how to convert that into passive voice? You have to use was or were. Along with that, you have to use verb 3. Example, the ball was thrown by him. The ball was thrown by Ram. Ram threw a ball. The ball was thrown by Ram. Next is, if your active voice is in past continuous. Example, it was or were plus throwing. Ram was throwing a ball. Ram was throwing a ball. How to convert that into passive voice? You have to use was or were plus being plus verb 3. Example, the ball was being thrown by Ram. You have to add being also. The ball was being, and after that you have to use verb 3. What is verb 3? Being. The ball was being thrown by Ram. After that, if your active voice is in past perfect, example, Ram had thrown the ball. Ram had thrown a ball. So Ram had thrown a ball. If your active voice is in past perfect, how to convert that into passive voice? You have to use had plus been plus verb 3. How? The ball had been thrown by Ram. You have to use had been plus verb 3. Had been thrown. This rules you have to follow. After that, if your active voice is into simple future tense, example, Ram will throw a ball. Ram will throw a ball. In simple future tense, it is will or shall plus throw. But how you will convert this into passive voice? You have to use will or shall plus be plus verb 3. Example, the ball will be. You have to use be here. If future tense is there, you have to use be. The ball will be. Then you have to use the verb, third form of verb, that is thrown. The ball will be thrown by Ram. Next is, if your active voice is into if your active voice is in future continuous, it will be Ram will be throwing a ball. Example, Ram will be throwing a ball. How to convert this into passive voice? Here it will be same. Will or shall will be there, be will be there, and you have to use third form of verb. Please remember that in passive voice, you always have to use the third form of verb. So how you will convert this into passive voice? The ball will be. You have to use be. The ball will be, and then you have to use the third form of verb, that is thrown. The ball will be thrown by Ram. Are we clear with this? Yes. Lastly, if your active voice is in future perfect, example, Ram will have thrown a ball. So if your active voice is in future perfect, example, Ram will have thrown a ball. How you will convert that into passive sentence? Here, first you will use will or shall After that, you have to use has or have. After that, you have to add been. That's it. You have to add been and then verb 3. Example, the ball will have been. The ball will have been thrown by Ram. The ball will have been thrown by Ram. So this is how you convert the past or present, past and future tense from active voice to passive voice. So what are we learning? We are learning the rules to convert the active voice and passive voice. For that, first you have to change the subject and object. You have to interchange the subject and object. You have to change the verb. How to change the verb? We just studied. After that, please remember, in passive voice, you always add the word by. By. Example, Lalita teaches poor children. So your teaches is simple present. Simple present. So how you will use is MR plus verb 3. So you will use the poor children are, because the poor children is a plural. So you'll use the poor children are taught, and then you have to add this word by. You have to add this particular word by in a passive voice. Are we clear with this? So we are done with 3 rules of changing active voice to passive voice and vice versa. Now the next rule is you have to change the pronoun. How to change the pronoun, that I will tell you here. Now next thing is you have to change the pronoun. Example, I has to be changed by me. She will be replaced by her. He will be replaced by him. You will be replaced by you only. It will be it only. We will be replaced by us. They will be replaced by them. Example, I like TV programs. TV programs are liked by me. So here, how do you change the verb? Like. Like is simple present. So in simple present, how do you change the verb? You have to use is MR plus verb 3. So your TV programs is plural. So you will write TV programs are liked by. You have to add the word by, and then you have to change the pronoun. How to change the pronoun? I will become me. TV programs are liked by me. She likes TV program. She likes TV program. TV program are liked by her. He will be replaced with him. You will be you only. It will be it only. We will become us. We like TV programs. TV programs are liked by us. They like TV programs. TV programs are liked by them. We are done with this. We are done with how many rules? We are done with change in subject and object, change of verb, change of pronoun, and adding the word by. Now few small rules are left with respect to interrogative sentence and imperative sentence. How to convert interrogative sentence from active voice to passive voice and vice versa. So here we will understand that with this example. Some of the interrogative sentence starts with do, does or did. Some of the interrogative sentence start with has, have or had. Some of the interrogative sentence start with will, shall, can, may. And some of the interrogative sentence start with when, why, where, how, what. So for all of this, there are different rules, and for some, who and whom. For all of this, there are different rules of converting active to passive and passive to active. One by one, we will understand. The first one is, if your interrogative sentence means question sentence start with do, does or did, in that case, you have to replace that do, does or did with is or am or are or was or were. If it is present, then you have to write is or am or are. If it is past tense, then you have to write was or were. Are we clear with this? First of all, you have to replace do, does and did with is, am, are, was, were. Now, how to convert active voice into passive voice? In your active voice, the question will be do or does or did plus subject plus verb plus object. In your passive voice, it will become is, am, are, was or were, any of this helping verb plus subject plus verb 3 plus by plus object. Remember this rule and you will be able to convert any active voice into passive voice which starts with do, does or did. Example, example, do you like coffee? This is a question. Do. You have to replace, is this present tense? Yes. So here you have to use is, am or are. Now what you will use, ma'am? Don't say you. Here, you like coffee. In active voice, you is the subject, coffee is the object. But in passive voice, it will get interchanged. So in passive voice, the coffee will become the subject and you will become the object. So here, now the coffee will become the subject and coffee is singular. So here you will use is. It is in present tense. You will not use are. So you will use is. So what you will use, one of this helping verb, you will use is. And then subject and object will get interchanged. Is coffee liked by you? And this verb will become verb 3. Liked, you have to use verb 3. So here the like will turn into liked. You have to use the verb 3. So here how you will convert this particular question interrogative sentence into passive voice is coffee liked by you, and you have to add this by and then you. Are we clear with this? So how to convert an interrogative sentence which is starting with do, does or did into a passive voice? You have to use is, am, are, was or were plus subject plus verb 3 plus by plus object. How, madam? Do you like coffee? Do will be replaced by is, am, are, was or were. So here the subject is coffee. So along with coffee we will use is because this is in present tense. So is coffee like will become like the verb 3. We will add by and then you. Is coffee liked by you? Now next point, does he sing a song? Does he sing a song? So how you will convert this into passive voice? Here he is the subject, song is the object. It will be replaced, the song will become the subject and he will become him will become the object. So here the song is singular and in present tense. So what you will use? You will use is the song. Sing will become verb 3. Sing, sung, sung. So you have to use is the song sung by him. Is the song sung by him? One more example, did he sing a song? Now did is in past tense. Did he sing a song? So how you will convert this into passive voice? Here you have to use was or were, and what will become the subject song. The subject is song. So since it is singular, you will use was the song sung by him. Was the song sung by him? One more example, if I say do they sing a song? Do they sing a song? How you will convert this into passive voice? See here, just because here there is they, don't use are, because they is subject and song is object. But in passive voice, the song will become the subject and song is the singular now. Song is a singular. That is why you have to use is here only. Is the song sung by, they will become them. So is the song sung by them? Are we clear with this? This is how you convert active to passive if it is an interrogative sentence which starts with do, does or did. Are we clear with this? Yes. These notes are made from your ICI study material only, so you can blindly trust on this. Next is has, have or had. If your interrogative sentence start with has, okay. If your interrogative sentence starts with has, have or had, then how to convert that into passive voice? Please remember that you have to copy these words as it is in the passive voice. For example, if your active voice is has or had or have plus subject plus verb 3 plus object. How to convert this into passive? You have to copy these words as it is. You have to use has or have or had plus subject plus been. Please remember that in an interrogative sentence which starts with has or have or had, what you have to do, you have to use been in the passive voice. Example, your passive voice will become has or have or had plus subject plus been plus verb 3 plus object. Are we clear with this? Yes. So now let's take an example. If your active voice is has he sung the song? Has he sung the song? So how it will become in the passive voice? Has will remain as it is. You have to copy this particular word as it is. Has in the passive voice also. Has. Now, he is the subject, the song is the object. It will get interchanged. The song will become the subject and him will become the object. So, has the song, you have to add what? Been. You have to add been. Has the song been sung by him? Are we clear with this? So, if your interrogative sentence is starting with has or have or had, in that case, you have to copy these three words as it is in the passive voice and you have to add been plus verb 3. Been plus verb 3. Next, madam, if your interrogative sentence starts with will or shall or can or may, will or shall or can or may, in that case, how to convert that from active to passive? If your active voice is will or shall or can or may plus subject plus verb plus object. How to convert that into passive voice? You have to copy this words as it is. As it is. Ma'am, as it is? Yes, as it is. So here in passive voice, you have to copy this words as it is. Will or shall or can or may plus subject. Here you have to add the word be. What you have to add? If your interrogative sentence starts with will or shall or can or may, in your passive voice, you have to use these four words as it is. After that, subject. After that, be. You have to add the word be, and after that verb, then by, then object. Example, madam, example. If in active voice it is said that will he sing the song? Will he sing the song? So will have to be as it is. Will this particular word will also be used in the passive voice also. So you have to copy this word as it is in the passive voice also. Now he is the subject, the song is the object, so the subject and object will get interchanged. So here the song will become the subject and him will become the object. And what you have to add? You have to add the word be. You have to add the word be. Will the song be? Then third verb. What is third verb? Sing, sung, sing, sang, sung. So your third verb is sung. Will the song be sung by him? So if your interrogative sentence starts with will, shall or can or may, you have to use this. Just a second. Yes, really sorry. Okay, so if in your active voice it is will or shall or may or can, you have to use this was as it is. Then after that you have to add subject, be, verb 3 by object. Please remember be is added here. Okay, one more example. May he sing the song? May he sing the song? You have to copy this word as it is. You have to copy this particular word as it is. May. You have to copy this word as it is. Then may. Here he is the subject, the song is the object, so your object will become subject and subject will become object. So here the may the song be, you have to add the word be, may the song be, and then you have to use the third verb sung by him. May the song be sung by him. I hope this is clear. Now next is if your interrogative sentence starts with when, why, where, how and what, all the wh word. We say this wh word, when, wh, why, where, how, what. Only how is not wh, but it is it has the same rules. So here if your active voice is an imperative, sorry, interrogative sentence which starts with when, why, where, how and what, then how to convert that into passive voice? So first you have to copy that wh word as it is. Then you have to use auxiliary verb. Auxiliary verb means helping verb plus subject plus verb 3 plus by plus object. We will just see some of the examples to get a clarity about this. If in your active voice it is why does he sing the song? Why does he sing the song? So here you have to replace why as it is. Why as it is. Please remember that do, does, did, this will be replaced by is, am, are, was, were. Like here in the active voice, the helping verb will be do, did, does, all this. In passive voice, which helping verb will be used? Mostly is or am or are or was or were. was, or were. So here, why does he sing the song? It will be replaced by why is. Does will be replaced by is. One helping verb will be replaced by another helping verb. Okay, so why is, then here the song is the object, it will become the subject. Why is the song? Sing will become verb 3. Verb 3 sung, then by, then him. Why is the song sung by him? Why is the song sung by him? So here you have to take care that if your interrogative sentence starts with WH word, you have to copy that WH word as it is. It's just that the auxiliary verb will change. That is, the helping verb will change. How? Let's take one more example. When did he sing the song? When did he sing the song? So here when will be copied as it is. When will be copied as it is. So here did is in past tense. Did is in past tense. So you will use the past verb. What is the past verb? Was or were. And whether it is singular or plural, you have to see the subject. The subject is the song. Song is singular, so you will use was. Where was the song sung by him? Yes. Madhu is asking, ma'am, can you send this notes in the Telegram group? Madhu, these notes are already uploaded in the Telegram group, in the Yash's Telegram group. These notes are already uploaded long back in the Yash's Telegram group. If you're not there, ask the management team, Yash's management team. They will add you in the Yash's Telegram group, and there you can find all these notes. If not, if you're still not able to find the notes, you can message me personally anywhere, Telegram, Instagram, WhatsApp. I will just send you the notes. Okay. Next is if in active voice. If in active voice, the sentence is example, where does he sing the song? Where does he sing the song? So you have to copy this word as it is, where. Now, does he sing the song? What is the subject now? The song becomes the subject. So, is it in present tense? Yes. So, you have to use is or am or are. And since this is singular, you will use is. So, here auxiliary verb is changing. Does will be replaced by is. Are we clear with this? So, where is the song sung by him? One last example. How did he sing the song? So, here you have to copy this word how as it is. Did will be replaced by was. Past tense, did will be replaced by was, helping verb will change, and the song sung by him. Are we clear with this? So if your interrogative sentence in active voice is starting with when, why, where, how, and what, in your passive voice also you have to copy this words as it is, and you have to change the helping verb. If the helping verb is do, did, does, you have to change it with is, am, are, was, or were, plus then same subject, verb 3 by object. Are we clear with this? Yes. Lastly, if your interrogative sentence is starting with who or whom, if your interrogative sentence is starting with who or whom, how to change that into passive voice? If it starts with who, you have to change it to by whom. Who changes to by whom. Who changes to by whom in passive, and whom changes to who. Whom changes to who. Now, I'll give you one example. What is the example? Who sing the song? Who sing the song? This is active voice. How to convert this into passive voice? Who will become by whom? By whom? See, who will be replaced by whom. So, instead of who, you will write by whom. By whom is the song sung. Next, whom did you greet at the party? Let's taking that this you is a plural. Whom did you greet at the party? So whom will be replaced by who. Who were greeted by you at the party? Who were greeted by you at the party? So if your interrogative sentence starts with who, then it will be changed to by whom, and if it starts with whom, then it will be changed to who. Are you clear with this? Yes. Who changes to by whom, and whom changes to who. Yes. Okay. So with this, we are done with the interrogative conversion. I am assuming that you are understanding this. If anybody of you still don't understand this video will still be available in the YouTube. You can watch this video again, and if still any doubt is there, you can personally message me and ask me if you have any doubt with respect to this particular rules regarding conversion of active to passive and passive to active. So we are done with interrogative. So we are understanding the rules for conversion of active to passive and passive to active. Next is how to convert imperative sentences, right? Next topic, how to convert imperative sentences. And trust me, each and every rule from your book is included here in the notes. Next is your imperative sentences. Imperative sentences means when you are either requesting something, you are advising something, you are ordering something, you are instructing something. What word you should use? You should use requested, advised, ordered, instructed, let, or should be in your passive voice. Let's understand with the help of example. If you are giving any command or order, then in passive voice we have to use either let or order to. You can use either of this. You can use either let or you can use order to. Example, if in active voice we say close the door, if in active voice we say close the door, then in passive either you can use let and make it let the door be closed, let the door be closed. However, on the other hand, you can also use order to. Example, you are ordered to close the door. Are we clear with this? If in a sentence there is any command or order, then in passive voice you have to use either let or order to. Example, let the door be closed, or you are ordered to close the door. One more example, bring the culprits. Bring the culprits. Here this is looking like a order or a command. Bring the culprits. So how you will convert this into passive? Let the culprits be brought in, or you are ordered to bring the culprits. You are ordered to bring the culprits. You can either use let or order to. I guess using order to is more easy. However, it depends on person to person. You can use any one of this, whichever you are comfortable with. Next, if in a sentence there is request, if you are using please do me a favor, please bring me some tea, please draw my face. So if in a sentence there is a request, then in passive voice you have to use requested to. Example, if in active there is a sentence, please bring me some tea. So how you will convert this into passive? You are requested to bring me some tea. You have to use this requested to. You are requested to bring me some tea. If in active voice there is any advice, you are giving any advice, then in passive voice you have to use advised to. Example, if in active voice we say do not drink and drive. Do not drink and drive. A lesson for you all. Do not drink and drive. So how you will convert this into passive voice? Here you are giving some advice. Okay. So you have to use the word advised to in the passive voice. You are advised not to drink and drive. Do not will become not to. Do not will become not to. You are advised not to drink and drive. Example, if in active voice you are saying do your work on time. So here basically we are advising that you have to do your work on time. So how you will convert this into passive? You have to use the word advised to. You are advised to do your work on time. So if there is any advice, you can use the word advised to in the passive voice. Next, if in active voice there are some instructions, if in active voice there are some instructions, then in passive voice you have to use the word instructed to. Example, preheat the oven. Preheat the oven, it is instruction. This is an instruction. So how you will convert this into passive voice? You are instructed to. You will use this particular phrase instructed to. You are instructed to preheat the oven. Are we clear with this? Next, if in an active voice, there is any suggestion. If there is any suggestion, so how we will convert it into passive voice? We have to use should be. We have to use should be. Example, respect elders in the family. This is a suggestion that you should respect your elders in the family. Respect elders in the family. How you will convert this into passive voice? Elders in the family should be respected. You have to use the word should be. Elders in the family should be respected. Follow your dreams. Your dreams should be followed. If it is a suggestion, you can use the word should be. Now, ma'am, is there any thumb rule that it is a suggestion and not an advice? No, ma'am, it can be an advice or a suggestion. So if you're feeling that it is an advice also or it is a suggestion also, you can use advice to also, you can use should be also. There is no any thumb rule with respect to this. You just have to read the sentence and you have to understand whether this is instruction or this is command or this is request. Request is so very easy. If there is any please and all, then you will understand that this is a request. Are we clear with this? Yes. Next point, if in an active voice there are these 4 words in a sentence, can, could, should, ought, then you have to convert it to can be, could be, should be, and ought be. Yes, can, could, should, and ought, then it have to be converted into can be, could be, should be, ought be. Should will be converted into should be, could will be could will convert into could be, can will convert into can be, ought will convert into ought be, plus verb 3. Are we clear with this? With this, we are done with the major rules of converting active to passive and passive to active. Now, if you'll come to the book, your ICS study material, chapter number 2, these are some general theory which are like what is noun, what is verb. You can just have a read over it. However, from examination point of view, it is not important because this kind of questions are not asked in your exam. In your exam, in the last four attempts, only active voice, passive voice, and direct indirect comes. That too for 4 to 5 marks, 5 to 6 marks. So here, if you will come, yes, if you will come to page number 2.18, here there's a topic active, passive, voice. I'll just show you. We are done with all the rules. Yes. We are done with changing of subject and object. Yes, we are done with this particular rule. We are done with changing the verb. Yes, I gave you one table, so we are done with this also. We are done with changing pronoun. Yes, we are done with changing pronoun also. Adding the word by. This last point is left. After that, changing interrogative sentence. Do, does, did. This is done. Yes, ma'am, this is done. Changing imperative sentence. Done. Yes, madam, done. Can, could, should, done. Yes, madam, done. So here, till here, we are done. You can cross check with your book. All the points are covered in the notes. So here, if in your active voice, there is a word can, could, should, ought, it will convert into can be, ought be, can be, could be, should be, ought be. Example, the rich should help the poor. The rich should help the poor. So here should will become should be in the passive voice. Example, the poor should be helped by the rich. Helped is your verb 3. So here the poor should be helped by the rich. Are we clear with this? Student ought to listen to their teacher. Yes, students ought to listen to their teacher. So here ought will become ought be. So the teacher ought to be listened by the students. Are we clear with this? Ought will become ought be, should will become should be, could will become could be, can will become can be, plus verb 3. Now, ma'am, only 2 small rules are left with respect to active and passive voice, and then we will be done with active and passive voice. Last rule is about transitive and intransitive verb. First, I will tell you what is transitive and intransitive verb. In transitive words, transitive verb is a type of verb which makes sense only if there is an object. However, intransitive verb is a verb which makes sense even without the object. Example, I baked a cake. So here baked is a transitive verb because without object, without cake, it would make no sense. I baked. Baked what? Baked what? So it would make no sense without object. That is transitive verb. Intransitive verb means which makes sense even without the object. Example, the sun rises in the east. So here the sun is the subject, rises is the verb, in the east is the object. So here, even if you delete the object, the sun rises, still it makes sense, the sun rises. It makes sense. So that is intransitive verb, and there is one general rule that only transitive verb can be converted into passive voice. Intransitive verb can never be converted into passive voice. There's one general rule that only transitive verb can be converted into passive voice. Intransitive verb cannot be converted into passive voice. So here example, I baked a cake. Here this is a transitive verb. Is it possible to convert it? Yes, a cake was baked by me. But when I use intransitive verb, example, the sun rises in the east, it is not possible to convert it into passive voice. Intransitive verb can never be converted into passive voice. Please remember that. Last point. If Sometimes there are two objects in an active voice, direct object and indirect object. We have studied that there are two type of object, direct object and indirect object. So if there are two objects in an active voice, then there can be two possible passive voice of that particular sentence. Example, there's one active voice. The farmer gave the cows some hay and oats. The farmer gave the cows some hay and oats. Here the farmer is the subject, gave is the sorry gave is the verb, and the cows is the object, and some hay and oats is also the object. So here there are two objects. So here there's two possible passive voice of this particular sentence. First, by using the cow as the object, uh, uh, sorry first by using the cow as the subject, and second by using some hay and oats as a subject. Example, first by using the cows. The cows were given, because this is past tense, so we will use were, then verb 3, given. The cows were given some hay and oats by the farmer. By the farmer. This is the first possible passive voice. There's one more possible passive voice of this particular sentence. Some hay and oats were given to the cows by the farmer. Some hay and oats were given to the cows by the farmer. So here in the first, we are using the cow as a subject, and in the second one we are using the hay and oats as the subject. So here there are two possible passive voice of this particular sentence, and with this we are done with all the rules for conversion of active voice and active voice to passive voice and passive voice to active voice. See, this is not very difficult. All the rules are given in the short notes, and you can just refer the short notes to master the conversion of active to passive and passive to active. By this notes, it is sufficient to cover this particular topic, and it is very important because as you can see, a lot of question are asked. This is May 2022. Active to passive, passive to active, 2 mark question, direct to indirect, 1 mark question, right? 3. And then here active to passive again. So one mark question are asked, at least 3, minimum 3 to 4 active to passive conversion you can find in your question paper for 1 mark each. So it will be like foolishness to leave this topic. I would request you, it will not take much of your time, it will take very less time. In 10-15 minutes you can just revise, go through all these rules, and you can do it very easily and fetch your 3 to 4 marks from active to passive voice and vice versa. Are we clear with this? In case you have any doubt, you can ask me personally. Now, the second topic from which question are asked in this chapter is direct and indirect speech. From this chapter, question are asked from active, passive, and direct and indirect speech. So we are done with active, passive. Now we will do with direct and indirect speech. I guess we would be able to complete it by 2 p.m. Although we started half an hour late, but I guess we will be able to do. Okay. Okay. So, it is a universal truth. Yes, Pranish, what are you saying? What is universal truth? What is universal truth? Okay, so So the next topic from your chapter number 2 is direct and indirect speech. This is given in page number 2.25, direct and indirect speech. I'll just give you in a very crisp manner important rules, or not important, all the rules which you have to take care while converting a direct speech into indirect speech and indirect speech into direct speech. First is direct. What do you mean by direct and indirect speech? Direct speech means telling something, telling someone else's speech in their words. And when you convert that in your own words, when you're telling someone else's speech in your own words, that is indirect speech. So what is direct speech? When you're telling someone else's speech in their words, that is direct speech. And when you're telling someone else's speech in your own words, that is indirect speech. Example, direct speech. He said, I am busy tomorrow. He's saying, I am busy. And if we are saying it as it is, the way he said, He said, I am busy. This is direct speech. And if we will convert it into our language, he said that I was busy the next day. This will become indirect speech. Now, how did you convert this direct into indirect? For that, there are few rules which you have to follow. First of all, ma'am, in direct speech, there is this double quotes. In indirect speech, you have to remove this double quotes. Secondly, in direct speech, there is no that word, but in indirect speech, you have to use that word. You have to use the word that. You have to use the word that. So here in direct speech, you are saying he said, and then in double quotes, I am busy tomorrow. In indirect speech, you will use he said that he was busy the next day. He said that he was busy the next day. So you have to add this particular word that in an indirect speech. Now, two rules, you are clear with the two rules. First, you have to remove this double quotes in an indirect speech, and secondly, you have to add the word that in an indirect speech. Done? Yes, madam. After that, how you will convert? You have to change the pronoun. How to change the pronoun? Mostly, the first person is changed to second person is changed to third person remains third person generally. Example, he said, I am busy tomorrow. So he said, I am busy tomorrow, but when I will explain that in my language, I will say he said that he was busy the next day. So here I will become he. I will become he. They will remain they only. Example, Kapil said to me, they will win. So how you will convert this into indirect speech? Kapil said to me that. You have to add the word that. You have to remove this particular double quotes. You have to remove the particular double quotes. You have to add the word that, and you have to change the pronoun. How to change the pronoun? They will remain they only. Third verb will remain third word will remain third word only. Kapil said to me, they will win. Kapil said to me that they would win. So here they will be same. They will be copied same. Example, you will also be same. So here you have to see the intent of the sentence. Accordingly, you have to change the pronoun. Example, he said, I was busy tomorrow. And when you are saying it in your language, you have to convert I with he. He said that he was busy the next day. So how you're converting the verb and the other words, that I will tell you. But before that, three rules, please note three rules. Number one, remove the double quotes in indirect speech. Secondly, you have to add the word that, and third, you have to change the pronoun. You have to change the pronoun. Okay, ma'am, I got one doubt from Trilok. Ma'am, shouldn't said be converted to told in indirect speech? Not always, not always. If you are giving any instructions, or you are advising something, then you have to use the word advised or ordered. That are known as imperative sentence. That I will come to the imperative sentence also, but it is not necessary to convert the said to told. You can write the said as it is. Okay, you can use the word said as it is if it is not an order or request. If it is an order or request, if it is an imperative sentence, then we will convert it accordingly. We will learn the rules of imperative sentence also after this particular thing. Okay, nice route. Okay, coming towards the next topic. First, you have to learn the change of tense. How to change the tense from direct to indirect. First, you have to see if the reporting verb is in past tense. If the reporting verb is in past tense. Now, for understanding this particular sentence, you have to know what do you mean by reporting verb. What is reporting verb? What is reporting verb? So here, the word which is used before double quotes, that is your reporting verb. He said, I am busy tomorrow. Here, I am busy tomorrow is in double quotes. So what is the word before the double quotes? This particular word, said. Said is the word which is before double quotes. So this said is a reporting verb. This said is a reporting verb. Are you clear with what do you mean by reporting verb? This said is a reporting verb. Now, if this reporting verb is in a present tense, if this reporting verb is in present tense, then the whole sentence will be copied in present tense only. However, if this reporting verb is in past tense, then you have to convert the present tense into past tense. What, madam? Please say again. Okay, I'm repeating again. This particular word before double quotes is your reporting verb. And if your reporting verb is in past tense, he said is in past tense. So here all the sentence have to be converted into past tense. So here how you have to convert, I am busy tomorrow. We have to convert this into past tense. How you can convert this into past tense? He was. Am will become was. He was busy the next day. Are we clear with this? So here, please remember that if the reporting verb is in past tense, then you have to convert simple present into simple past, present continuous into past continuous, present perfect into past perfect, present perfect continuous into past perfect continuous. Basically, you have to convert the present tense into the past tense. So basically, you have to convert the present tense into the past tense. However, if your direct speech is in simple past, then in your indirect speech, you have to convert it into past perfect. And if in your direct speech it is in past perfect, then you have to convert it in you don't have to convert it, it will remain in past perfect only. There are some example given in the page number 2.26 of your ICI study material, the last table. So we'll refer to that particular table. What was the page number? 2.26, right? So come to the page number 2.26 from your study material. Come to the page number 2.26 from your ICI study material. Come to this particular last table. Page number 2.26 from your ICI study material. Come to this particular last table. In this last table, some rules are given how to convert direct into indirect speech, and this rule is applied only and only if the reporting verb is in past tense. Reporting verb means this particular verb, this verb before the double quotes. If this is in past tense, you have to change the tense of the whole sentence. How you will convert? Simple present have to be converted into simple past. Example, I always drink coffee. She said. She said. She said. So here said is your reporting verb. It is in past tense, right? So you have to convert this particular sentence in a past tense. This is simple present, so you have to convert it into simple past. I always drink coffee. She always drank coffee. Drink will become drank. You have to convert simple present into simple past. Next, if it is present continuous, then you have to change in past continuous. I am reading a book. He exclaimed. Exclaimed is past tense. So you have to convert this sentence from present continuous to past continuous. I am reading a book. He exclaimed. He exclaimed that he was reading a book. Am will become was. Present continuous will become past continuous. Next, present perfect continuous will become present perfect will become past perfect. Example, she said. Said is your past tense. He had finished his work. She said that he had finished his work. Has finished. Present perfect. This is present perfect. Has is your present. It will become past perfect. Has will become had. Had is your past perfect. So he has finished will become had finished. He had finished his work. Example, a present perfect continuous will become past perfect continuous. Example, I have been. Have been is your present perfect continuous. I have been to Spain. He told me. Told is your past tense. So here you have to convert this present perfect continuous into past perfect continuous. How you will convert it? You have to write, he told me that he had been to Spain. He told me that he had been to Spain. Are we clear with this? Yes. Now, simple past changes to past perfect. Example, Bill arrived on Saturday. He said, Bill arrived. This is simple past. So you have to convert simple past into past perfect. Example, he said the bill had arrived. Arrived will become had arrived. Arrived is simple past. Simple past will become past perfect. Past perfect will remain past perfect only. Past perfect will remain past perfect only. Example, I had turned out the light. I had just turned out the light. So had turned out. This is what? Past perfect. It will remain past perfect only. So here he exclaimed that he had just turned out the light. So what we are understanding? We are understanding how to change the verb from direct to indirect. If the reporting speech means reporting verb means the verb which is outside the double quotes. That verb, if the reporting verb is in past tense, then you have to change the tenses accordingly. Are we clear with this? Acha, 3 more tenses are there. If the direct speech is in past continuous, then you have to convert it into past perfect continuous in indirect speech. Example, we were living. Were living is past continuous. How you will convert it? They had been living. Had been, it will become past perfect continuous. So past continuous will become past perfect continuous. We were living in Paris. They told me that they had been living in Paris. This is what were living was past continuous. You have to change it to past perfect continuous. Next is future changes to present conditional, and future continuous also changes to present conditional. How, madam? I will be. This is future. Will be. This is in future tense. I will be on Geneva on Monday. He said. So what you have to use? He said that he would be in Geneva. You have to use present conditional. Would be. Next is future continuous. I will be using the car next Friday. She said. I will be using the car next Friday. She said that she would be using the car next Friday. So basically will become would be. Will be replaced with would be. Are we clear with this? So these are the very important. You can mark this in your book the way I have marked. You can mark this in your book. The rule for changing the verb in case the reporting verb is in past tense. Now few more rules, madam. We are done with this? Yes. Example, we are done with example also from page number 2.26. Yes, madam, done. Now please understand there are some exception of change in past tense. There are some exception where you don't have to change the tense, where you don't have to change the tense. Like we have studied now, we just studied that if your reporting verb is in past tense, then you have to convert the tense. You have to convert simple present into simple past. You have to convert present continuous into past continuous. So you have to change the tense. But there are some exceptional situations where you don't have to change the tense. Example, first, if you are talking about universal truth. Universal truth means which are applicable for everyone, which are true for everyone. Example, he said honesty is the best policy. This is a universal truth. Honesty is the best policy. So here, since this is a universal truth, even if the reporting verb is in past tense, this said is the reporting verb. Said is the reporting verb, and reporting verb is in past tense. Even though the reporting verb is in past tense, we will not change the tense of this particular sentence. Why? Because this is a universal truth. So in universal truth, you don't have to change to past tense. How you will? You have to copy as it is. Just remove the double quotes, add this particular word that, and you are done. He said that, and then copy it as it is. Honesty is the best policy. He said that honesty is the best policy. Are we clear with this? So we are starting some exceptional situation where you don't have to change the tense. First is universal truth. Second is if that particular thing is still relevant today also. Example, Sheila said French is easy to learn. French is easy to learn. So if you think that this is still relevant today also French is easy to learn, then you can use it in the present tense only. You don't need to change to past tense. Simply just remove the double quotes and add this particular word that. Example, Sheila said that French is easy to learn. Sheila said that French is easy to learn. However, if you feel that it is not relevant today, nowadays French is difficult to learn, it is not easy to learn. If you feel that it is not relevant today, then you can use was also. However, if you feel that it is still relevant today also, then you don't need to change the tense. You can write it in present tense only, even if the reporting verb is in past. So Sheila said that French is easy to learn. This is how you can convert the direct to indirect. Last exception is if the reporting verb is in present tense. What, madam? What? If the reporting verb is in present tense. Example, madam. Says he says I like classical music. He says I like classical music. So here this particular word says is a verb which is outside the double quotes. So this particular word says is a verb, reporting verb. This is reporting verb, and here reporting verb is in present tense. Reporting verb is in present tense. Reporting verb is not in a past tense. If the reporting verb is in a present tense, then you don't have to change the tense of the sentence. You have to write it in the present tense only. Example, he says I like classical music. He says that. Please, some students were asking me, ma'am, if the reporting verb is in present, then we don't have to use the word that. No, it's not like that. You have to use the word that. Okay, so he says that he likes classical music. He says that he likes classical music. So here, just along with I, there is the word like. Along with he, it will become likes. So along with he, it will become likes. But however, the tense is same. It is simple present tense. We have not converted the present tense into past tense. So if your reporting verb is in present tense, then the whole sentence has to be in the present tense. You should not convert it into past tense. Are we clear with this? So these are some general rules. These are some general rules with respect to the direct and indirect speech. Some rules we will do from book, page number 2.27. Okay, let's come to the page number 2.27. Okay, so here is page number 2.27. Some rules we will do from book, which I'll get you marked. Basically, this point number 1 we have done. Point number 2, exception also, 1, 2, 3 exception we have done. Yes, come to point number 2, the last table of page number 2.27. Open your ICI study material. Come to page number 2.27. The last particular table of this page number 2.27. Here, when you're converting from direct speech to indirect speech, you have to change some words. Some words have to be changed. Example, he will become there. Today will become that day. Yesterday will become the day before. Tomorrow will become the next day. Next will become the following week. Next month will become the following month. Now will become then. Ago will become before. Thus will become so. Last night will become the night before. This will become that. These will become those. Come will become go. Example, remember this particular example. He said, I am busy tomorrow. You have to replace tomorrow with the next day. Here, can you see? Tomorrow you have to replace tomorrow with the next day. You have to replace tomorrow with the next day. So here, how did you convert? In active voice, you used the word tomorrow. He said, I am busy tomorrow. In not active voice, I'm really sorry. Direct and indirect speech. Yes. In direct speech, you are using the word tomorrow. In indirect speech, you have to replace this word with the word the next day. How, madam? He said that he was busy the next day. He said that he was busy the next day. Few more example. He said, I will come today. How you have to convert today? He said, I will come today. This is your direct speech. So how you will convert this into indirect speech? First, you have to write he said. You have to remove the double quotes. Okay. Then you have to add the word that. He said that. He said that. You have to convert this particular thing into past tense. Will become would be. He would come. Today will become that day. He would come that day. So here, how you will convert? Today will become that array, that day, right? Here he said, I will come today. He said that he would come that day. One more example here. If let's take an example. She said, I, she said, I will give you this pencil. Okay. This pencil. She said, I will give you this pencil. How you will convert this into indirect speech? This is direct speech. How you will convert it into indirect speech? Yes, try it. Try it. How you will convert this? First, you will write C, not C. She said that. You have to add the word that. You have to remove double quotes. You have to remove double quotes. She said that she will, on will become word. She, because the reporting verb is in past tense, so you have to convert this will to word. She said that she would give me that pencil. Ma'am, not this pencil. Please understand, we don't notice this small things. We don't notice this small thing. This will become that. This, if you are using this in a direct speech, it will become that in an indirect speech. Are we clear with this? So here, can you see this? Yeah, this will become that. This will become that. So you have to notice, you have to remember, if any of these words are used in direct speech, then you have to replace it with this particular words in an indirect speech. Are we clear with this? Yes, we are done with the second rule also. You can just read this diagram. We are done with the second rule. Now coming towards the third rule. The third rule talks about the change in pronoun. Normally the first person is changed to second person is changed to third person remains third person only. Generally, but not always. You have to see the intent of the sentence. How to see, madam? Let's take some example. Rahul says, I am going to Thailand. Rahul says, I am going to Thailand. So here, says is reporting verb. It is in present tense only. So the whole sentence will remain in present tense only. So you have to write Rahul says that. Here I, you have to change the pronoun. Rahul says, I am going to Thailand. So in indirect speech, it will become Rahul says that he is going to Thailand, because now we are quoting in our words. Rahul says that he is going to Thailand. So generally the first person becomes the second person. Example, Priya says, I will leave soon. Priya said, Priya says that she will leave soon. It is wrong. It is misprint. It will not be said. It will be says that. Priya says that she will leave soon. Example, I said to Sachin, you will have to play cricket. I said to Sachin, you will have to play cricket. Now, how we will convert this into indirect speech? I said to Sachin that he. Now here said is the reporting verb. It is in past tense. So you have to convert will to would. You have to convert will to would. He would have to play cricket, and you will become he. This is how you have to change the pronoun. So earlier I was talking to Sachin. So I said you will have to play cricket. Now I am generally telling that what I said to Sachin. I said to Sachin that he. Now I will use he. Are you understanding that how you converted to he? Yes, this is how you have to change the pronoun. Sometimes pronoun is not changed. Example, teacher said to you, you are wrong. Here the pronoun will be same. Example, teacher said to you that you were wrong. It's just that the present tense will convert into past tense because the reporting verb is in past. Teacher said to you that you were wrong. Are we clear with this? Yes, madam. Yes. Example, Kapil said to me, they will win. Kapil said to me that they would win. So here there are some sentences we have to just understand the intent, that who is talking to whom. Who is talking to whom? By this way you will be able to change the pronoun. So here pronoun will be same, they. And since the reporting verb is in past, said, you have to convert will to would. They would win. Are we clear with this? Yes. Example, he said to me, I don't believe you. He said to me, I don't believe you. So he said to me that he didn't believe me. So here I will become he, you will become me. Earlier he was saying to me, I don't believe you. So he is not believing me. So if I'll convert it into my words, I will say he said to me that he didn't believe me. And since the reporting verb is in past tense, you have to convert the present tense into past tense. Don't will become didn't. He didn't believe me. Are we clear with this? I guess now you must be getting confidence that yeah, we will be able to convert in direct into indirect, and vice versa, passive into active and vice versa. Because these are asked in your exam, you can expect 4 to 5 to minimum 4 be 5 to 6 minimum 5 to 6 marks you will find from indirect speech, direct speech, from active voice, passive voice, and it is easy. Please do it. You don't have to skip this topic at any cost. Okay. Okay, so we are done with this. Next rule is, if in a direct speech there is a word can, may, must, you have to replace it with could, might, had to. Can will be replaced with could, may will be replaced with might, must will be replaced with had to. Are we clear with this? Example, he said, I can drive a car. He said he could drive a car. Okay, he said that, please add that here, he said that he could drive a car. Okay, here there is a misprint. If there is a misprint, please don't understand that, you don't believe that you don't have to add the word that. The word that will be there in an indirect speech. You can add it by writing with your pen. Okay, now he said, I may buy a computer. He said that he might buy a computer. So may will become might. Example, he said, I must work hard. He said, example, Vijay said he must work hard. Vijay said, I must work hard. How you have to convert this into passive? Vijay said that he had to work hard. Must will be changed to had to. Must will be changed to had to. Must will become had to. Okay, he said I must work hard. He said that he had to work hard. Are we clear with this? Yes, yes, yes. Okay, we are done with the rule number 3. Next is your rule number 4. Rule number 4 talks about imperative sentences. Someone was asking about imperative sentence. Now, yes, Trilok was asking. So now we are coming to imperative sentence. How to convert an imperative sentence from direct speech to indirect speech. For example, first of all, you have to use the word either ordered, or proposed to, or suggested to, or advised to. Matlab, just like we studied in active voice, passive voice now, similarly you have to use these words while converting direct to indirect also. Example, master said to the servant, finish the work at once. So here the master is saying to servant, finish the work at once. Here he is giving an order. He is giving an order that master said to servant, finish the work at once. So since this is an order, it is an imperative sentence. If you're converting an imperative sentence from direct to indirect, you have to use this particular word order. The master ordered the servant. Here said will convert into ordered. Are we clear with this? Trilok? Yes. Okay, so here the master ordered the servant, and then you have to add the word to. Whenever you are changing an imperative sentence from direct to indirect speech, ma'am, what did you said? I said that whenever you are changing an imperative sentence from direct to indirect speech, you have to add this particular word to. You have to add this particular word. Can you see this word? Yes, this particular word to. If you are converting an imperative sentence from direct to indirect, you have to add this particular word to in your indirect speech. Indirect speech. If you're converting direct to indirect, example, master said to servant, finish the work. This is an order. You have to add the word ordered. The master ordered the servant, and then you have to add to. You have to add to. The master ordered the servant to finish the work at once. Are we clear with this? Yes. Then you have to copy it as it is. The teacher said to the student, please study properly. Let's say I am saying to Sumant, Sumant, please study properly. The teacher said to the student, please study properly. How you have to convert this into indirect speech? The teacher requested, sorry. The word please is there. If the word please is not there, then I would be ordering study properly. Study properly is an ordered. So you would have said the teacher ordered the student. But since there is a word please, please study properly. So whenever you add the word please, it's a request. So here, how you will convert it into indirect speech? The teacher requested the student. The teacher requested the student. Then you have to add the word to. Madam, to. The teacher requested the student to study properly. Example, father said to son, work hard for success in life. And this is an advice. You have to work hard for success in your life. This is an advice. So how you can convert it into indirect sentence? Indirect speech, father advised his son to, you have to add this particular word to, work hard for success in life. Are we clear with this? So basically you have to add the word requested to, advised to, ordered to, proposed to, etc. Yes, are we clear with this? Yes. Example, let's take one or two more example. Teacher said to me, don't talk. Let's say. So how you will write here? Teacher, don't talk. Teacher ordered me. Teacher here, don't talk. Don't talk is an order. I am saying don't talk. So here I am ordering. Teacher ordered me and do not will become not to. Teacher ordered me not to talk. Teacher ordered. Here set will become ordered and here you have to add the word to and here do not will become not to. The teacher ordered me not to talk. Are we clear with this? So here you have to convert, you have to add this particular word to in your indirect speech. Either it might be a command or advice or suggestion or request. If it is the command, you have to add the word ordered to. If it is an advice, you have to add the word advised to. If it is a suggestion, you can add suggested to. If it is a request, then you can add the word requested to. Yes, are we clear with this? Next is you don't have sorry. Next is do not will become not to. If there is do not in a direct speech, then it will become not to in an indirect speech. After that, if there is let in a direct speech, you can use either proposed to or suggested to in an indirect speech. Let's take an example. The mother said to the cook, let me help you. Let's say this is a direct speech. The mother said to the cook, let me help you. So here there is a word let in a direct speech. In your indirect speech, you can use the word proposed to or suggested to. Example, the mother proposed, or you can use suggested, the cook to. You have to use the word to. Proposed to. How? The mother proposed the cook to, you can simply write help. The mother proposed the cook to help. Right? The mother said to the cook, let me help you. The mother proposed the cook to help. Are we understanding this? If there is this word let in a direct speech, you have to use proposed to or suggested to in an indirect speech. With this, we are done with this rules. Point number 4. Now coming to point number 5. Point number 5 talks about interrogative sentence. Interrogative sentence means question sentence. Okay, so in question sentence, what you have to do is, if your question starts with helping verb, am, is, are, was, were, do, does, in that case you have to use if or whether in indirect speech. If in your direct speech the question starts with a helping verb like is, am, are, was, were, do, does, in that case you have to use if or whether in an indirect speech. Example, Sanya asked, are you coming with them? So here Sanya asked, are you coming with them? This is a question and it is starting with helping verb, that is are. It is starting with helping verb. So what I said you, that if your question in a direct speech is starting with helping verb is, am, are, was, were, do, does, in that case you have to use if or whether. How, madam? Sanya asked, are you coming with them? Sanya asked, you have to use if I was coming with them. And then you have to change it into normal assertive sentence. Means when you are changing a question from direct to indirect speech, in direct speech it will be in the form of question, but in indirect speech you have to make it in the form of assertive sentence, not in the form of question. Not in the form of question, you have to make it a plain sentence, a normal sentence, assertive sentence. Are we clear with this? Yes. So here are will be replaced by if. Sanya asked if I was coming with them. Sanya asked if I was coming with them. Are we clear with this? Yes. So here since are you coming with them, this is in present tense, but the reporting verb is in past tense. So here the sentence will be converted into past tense. It will become I was coming with them. You will become I and them will be them only. Okay. One more example. One more example. Yes. Um, have you anything to say on behalf of the accused? This is a question. Yes. Have you anything to say on behalf of the accused? Said the judge to the lawyer. Judge said to the lawyer, have you anything to say on behalf of the accused? So here judge is inquiring. Judge is inquiring. So here you can use the judge inquired of the lawyer, and what you will use? You will use if. Why? Because this particular question is starting with a helping verb. Remember I told you that if your question is starting with a helping verb, am, is, are, was, were, do, does, has or have, then in your indirect speech you have to use the word if or whether. So here, since your question is starting with the word have, it is a helping verb, so you have to use if word in your indirect speech. So the judge inquired of the lawyer if he had anything to say on behalf of the accused. Rest of the sentence you can copy, just convert the present tense into past tense. Are we clear with this? Yes. Okay. Now, if your question is starting from a WH word, example, if your sentence is starting from what, if your question is starting from what, whom, where, why, how, which, if your sentence is starting with this particular word, what, whom, where, why, how, which, in that case, in that particular case, the same word is used to introduce the question in an indirect speech, which means that if in your direct speech the question is starting from WH word, then you have to use that same word in an indirect speech also. You don't have to use if or whether in that case. Example, he said to me, what are you doing? He said to me, what are you doing? Here the question is starting with what. So here in indirect speech also, you have to copy this word as it is, and here said will become asked because he is asking question. So he will it will be like, he asked me what I was doing. Why? Because reporting verb is in past tense, so are will become was, present tense will become past tense. So he said to me, he asked me. Why we changed said to ask? Because it is in the form of question. So he asked me what I was doing. Example, the gentleman said, where is the market? The question is starting with WH word, so you have to copy this particular word as it is in an indirect speech also. So now the indirect speech will be, the gentleman asked where the market was. The gentleman asked where the market was. Is will become was, present tense will become past tense. Are we clear with this? Yes. So with this we are done with the rules of interrogative sentence, that is question sentence. Two rules, please take care, I'm just revising the two rules to convert the interrogative sentence from direct to indirect and vice versa. First, if your interrogative direct speech, if your question is starting with the word what, whom, where, why, how, which, then you have to use that same word in an indirect speech. However, if your question is starting from helping verb like am, is, are, was, were, do, does, has, have, in that case, in your indirect speech, you have to use if or whether. And you have to convert your question into assertive sentence. You have to convert your question into assertive sentence. You have to convert the question form into a normal assertive sentence. And since it is an assertive sentence, now you have to end this with a full stop. Please remember that now this is not a question, interrogative sentence. Now this is not a question. So here you have to end this with a full stop, not with a question mark. Here this was interrogative, so it was ending with a question mark. But when you're converting it into indirect speech, you are converting it into assertive sentence, so it will end with a full stop, not a question mark. Are we clear with this? Yes. The last rule, 5 more minutes, I will end the class. My time was well 2. It's 2. We started half an hour late, so just 5 more minutes. We are almost done with the last rule of converting direct into indirect speech. The last rule is how to change the exclamatory sentence. Exclamatory means which shows emotion, like too much happiness or sorrow or surprise, like that. So if in a direct speech you are in a sorrow mood, we have to see the mood. If the mood is sorrow, then what you can use in indirect speech? In indirect speech you can use explained with sorrow or grief, or exclaimed sorrowfully, or cried out, or exclaimed sadly. If in a direct speech the mood is happiness, then you can use exclaimed with joy, exclaimed with delight, exclaimed joyfully in an indirect speech. If in a direct speech the mood is surprise, then in an indirect speech you can use the word exclaimed with surprise, or exclaimed with wonder, or exclaimed with astonishment. Okay, now let's see an example how to convert this from direct to indirect. The reporter said, alas, many lives have been lost due to tsunami. So here it is sad. It is like a sad mood. It is a sorrow mood of sorrow. So how you will convert this into direct to indirect speech? Here sad will be converted to exclaimed sadly, or exclaimed sorrowfully. So the reporter exclaimed sadly, or the reporter exclaimed sorrowfully that many lives had been, have been will become had been. Why? Because since the reporting verb is in past tense, you have to convert the present tense into past tense. So have been will become had been. The reporter exclaimed sadly that many lives had been lost due to tsunami. Are we clear with this? Grandmother said, may you meet with success wherever you go. So your grandmother is giving a blessing that may you meet with success wherever you go. So here what you can use, the grandmother blessed, you can, she's giving a blessing now, so you can use the grandmother blessed her grandson that he should, may will become should, he should meet with success, not he should meet, sorry, meet with meet with success wherever he goes. So wherever he go will become goes. Are we clear with this? So here um, these are some examples of exclamatory sentence. So please remember that there are separate rules for converting exclamatory sentence from direct to indirect, for converting interrogative sentence from direct to indirect, for converting imperative sentence from direct to indirect. And in these cases, in imperative sentences, in exclamatory sentences, you change the word asked, you change the word said. Like Tulsi Trilok was asking, okay, like here the master said to the servant, finish the work at once. This is an order. So here you change the word said to ordered. So you have to change the reporting verb in imperative sentences, in exclamatory sentences. So I guess we are done with this particular rules. With this we are done with the chapter. You can just solve the practical exercise by your own. In case of any doubt, you can ask me. You can in this chapter, this particular rules of active voice and passive voice, direct and indirect speech, this is very important, very much scoring, marks giving. I showed you the May 2022 paper. How many questions? 5 marks question was there. 5 marks question, right? and that too very easy. 2 3 marks active voice passive voice will come. 2 3 marks direct speech and indirect speech will become. They both together will hold 6 marks. 6 marks in your examination, which are like Balaji ka prasad, free ka prasad. Not very much difficult. Just take care of the grammar rules, take care of the change of verb where we make mistakes, take care of these rules which are given in your book, right? And you can just mark the rules the way I have marked. The highlighted PDF is also sent in the Yash's Telegram group, and the notes. Yeah, notes have also been sent in the Telegram group. You can access that. You can access the notes from the group. In case you are not able to access the notes, and in case you have any doubt, you can contact me personally in Telegram, Instagram, WhatsApp, anywhere. I'll surely clear your doubts. Yes, anyone has any doubt? Rizwan is asking, ma'am, can the sentence be teacher asked me not to talk? Which one? Acha, teacher one. This one. Acha, you are asking me. Teacher said to me, don't talk. I converted in teacher ordered me not to talk. You are asking me, can we use teacher asked me not to talk? Teacher asked me not to take. Yes, you can use that also. I guess ordered is more appropriate because your teacher is ordering, don't talk. So this is an order. You can use asked also. Teacher asked me not to talk. That is also perfect. That is also correct. Yes. Any other doubt? Yes. Any other doubt? Anyone have any other doubt? So with this, we are done with the one remaining chapter of BCR chapter number 2. The other general grammar of chapter number 2, what is noun, what is sentence, what is phrase, what is verb, that is not generally asked in your examination. So from examination point of view, this active voice and a direct speech comes, which we are done. Yes. Any doubt? Otherwise, we can sum up with our today's class. Yes. Can you convert active, passive, and direct indirect speech? Yes, please let me know in the chat box. Any doubt? Let me know in the chat box. Any doubt? Ranjit is saying no, ma'am, no doubt. Okay. Others, no doubt. So I'm assuming that there's no further doubt from this particular chapter. In case you feel any difficulty with respect to law and BCR at any point of time, I'll surely be just one ping away for any kind of motivation, for any kind of support for your exam, for any kind of guidance or any kind of support. I'm always there. I'm just one ping away. If you need any kind of support from my side, you can just ping me. I'll surely help you and motivate you and clear your doubts whenever you need. Okay, so with this, we are ending our today's class. Yes, I miss you all too. I miss you all too. Okay. Yes, I'm missing Bangalore and classes. Will come soon. Okay. So with this, we are ending our today's class, and I wish you all the very best for your upcoming examination. Utilize the remaining time properly. 1 month is left for your examination. You will surely sail through this. Yes, utilize this time properly and revise all the concepts of all the subjects. In case you feel any difficulty in law and BCR, you can contact me. Okay. Yes, thank you everyone. Okay, bye.